Brest town centre was entirely destroyed during the Second World War. Might it still be possible for us to transmit part of the cultural identity of this once thriving industrial town to future generations? Which tools are both adaptable enough to achieve this goal and capable of reaching the widest possible audience? Our solution to this problem was to construct an animated three-dimensional virtual model presented to you here in this film. Our objective was to simulate the various objects and actors of the industrial and maritime sectors in Brest at the end of the 19th century. The town of Brest grew up around a river. Over time, buildings were constructed and dry docks dug out of the rock. They were not used for shipbuilding, but for repairs. Boats sailed into the dry dock and the gates were closed behind them. The water was then removed and repairs made to the ship's hulls. The construction of boats took place on the quays, as the dry dock's gates were not watertight. The boats were constructed on inclined slipways, which made it easier to put them to sea. The building we can see behind the boats being built is specific to the frigates. This is where the ship's masts were stored. The wooden masts would warp due to the humidity at sea, and as a result could only be used for one specific ship. Each boat would therefore have its own section in the storehouse in which it would store its masts. Above the frigate storehouse was the Capucin monastery. It was converted to army barracks after the French Revolution. Many different trades were involved in the construction of ships. As we can see here, the boat's frames were built first and then attached to the keel. In the background, we can see Brest Prison, which provided most of the labourers for the naval shipyard. We can also see one of the rope factories, over 300 metres long, in which the different ropes and cords used on the ships were manufactured. In this sequence, around 50 virtual characters are simulated, representing the different activities which took place on the port. Behind the ship, we can see the Navy barracks where many of the sailors lived.